all record at same time also, it will create only one file only. No problem.
Okay.
Okay. So in manage recruiting, like recruiting settings, we are going to collect some address formats. In second page, we will update do not reply option, and in third, we will see candidate profile settings. These things, and mainly we use, and remaining things are optional. So you no need to maintain any other things, but remaining things are option. So first we will collect address data and other information only. Okay. So why I am not telling this many things, it's all like optional. No need to maintain anything. Even for real-time client also, we are not activating these all the things. So just update the address and check do not reply address format, and also some other settings. So those settings document we have in separate implementation doc. I will share that implementation page, and based on that you have to update it, because there is no particular meaning or particular reason for this. Okay, we have to update accordingly based on that page. So it's all like simple settings, like translations and manage recruiting settings. It's all like simple. So need out any confusion, please to ask. The next one is manage recruiting teams. So there is an option called manage recruiting teams. So what is manage recruiting teams mainly? Example, I have two job requisitions. Two job requisitions. One is like standard. Another one is basic job requisition. Okay. For standard, we have a recruiter and hiring manager. Okay. So recruiter here. So for standard job requisition, I want to keep the recruiter is like Tessa Walker. T Walker is the recruiter default, and hiring manager is G Hill. But basic job requisition, recruiter is Amelia, and hiring manager is J Baker. Like this. Okay. So whenever you create any standard job requisition or basic job requisition, you no need to enter every time T Walker is a recruiter and hiring manager G Hill, and for basic Amelia and hiring manager J Baker. So I don't want to maintain, I don't want to enter manually again and again whenever you create. So what we will do, we are going to default these users. Okay. Like for standard default recruiter is T Walker, and for standard like hiring manager is G Hill likewise. So how we are going to default these settings like the recruiting teams. So for this we will go to manage recruiting teams. So in this manage recruiting teams, so first we have to select which job requisition actually. So now let me select some standard job requisition. So in the standard job requisition, so you can see already some default primary user is already added, but now I'm going to replace this default primary user. So first we have to select which user you want to use. You can see hiring manager you want to default, or HR administrator team, or recruiting team you want to make it default. So now I'm going to take hiring manager first. So in this hiring manager, so there is no default user. So my client provided me the username is hiring manager is default for this job requisition. So you can find that user and you can update it. So going forward, whenever you create this job requisition, the standard job requisition default hiring manager is G Hill. And then the recruiter also, recruiting team. So I want to create a recruiting team also. So recruiting team I have already updated as Tessa Walker. So Tessa Walker is a standard recruiter. So whenever you create, she will be the standard recruiter. So save one. And now, and also I have some other job requisition also, basic job requisition. So for basic job requisition, I'm going to default hiring manager, recruiter only. So hiring manager, I'll select it. So here hiring manager is J Baker. and the recruiter team is Amelia. In real-time system also, usually clients like each and every company, there may be some standard recruiters and standard hiring managers based on the department. For sales department, there is one recruiter and one hiring manager. For marketing department, hirings one recruiter and one hiring manager. Okay, so if they have two different job requisitions, they are going to default one recruiter for one and for another job requisition. So you don't need to maintain every time. So every time you no need to enter. So now how this works? So when I try to create now let me create one job requisition and we'll see how it works. Okay, proxy as so I have already defaulted the users and we will try to create whether it's picking the default hiring manager and recruiter or not. Create new. And here you select basic job requisition. So you can select from families and rules. Select. See here you can see recruiter Amelia Ruz and hiring manager is automatically updated because we have defaulted only these users for this basic job requisition. So now if I take any other job requisition, let's take a standard job requisition and we'll see whether it's defaulting the recruiter and hiring manager. I'll take the standard job requisition, families and rules. We'll select any family and rule. Click on select. See now for recruiter Tessa Walker and hiring manager G Hill. So likewise we can default the users. Okay, so this is the use of recruiting team settings. So first we will collect how many job requisitions you have and who is the hiring manager and who is the HR admin or who is the HR recruiter. So based on their names we are going to default for each and every job requisition. Any doubt, any confusion, please to ask.
Raj,
Yes.
can we only one person we can add it or many people we can add like this?
You can add many people also. You can add many people also, no problem. You can add, but here you will get only one user first initially. But again, you have to manually select because we can't add two recruiters at the same time. If the first recruiter is not available, then the system is going to take the second recruiter.
Okay.
Yeah. Even we have option to add additional user also. But most of the time we use only one user only. So you can add user to team or add groups to team. You add some groups also. So example, if you want to pick any groups also, you can use some groups also. Okay. Now how to create a recruiting groups. Okay. Recruiting groups. Okay. So how many groups we usually have? Like there are some 6 groups in recruiting by default. Example, we have a recruiters team, recruiters, hiring managers, coordinators, originators, HR admins, and CEO team like that, like senior people like that. So likewise, we have some different groups. Even if you have any custom groups also, you can add also custom recruiters also you can add. So first we have to collect these groups from your client. Like how many groups? Like recruiter means who is part of recruiting. Example, recruiter means Tessa Walker, Aruj, okay, and M Cooper, etc. So this all comes under recruiter group. And hiring manager means we have a G Hill, again we have a J Baker. Just I'm telling in demo system, but in real time, where is part of like recruiter is like Charles and hiring manager is some Ashok, like that. We will collect that information from your client. So even in this system also, we used to collect some recruiter groups. I don't know why where they have not mentioned. Yeah, here we have see recruiting roles. You can see originator groups, and here we will collect their information, who is a part of that originator team. And also we have some codes also. Originator we will call it as O, and hiring manager we call it as G, recruiter is R, and coordinator is T, and sourcer is S, and second recruiter is W, and VP staffing is Q, and all approvals is V. Likewise. Okay, and we have to remember these codes also. O for originator, G for hiring manager, R for recruiter, T for coordinator. Likewise, you have to by heart it. Okay. So first,
These Raj, what are these M1, M2, HRM? These are the departments or what?
that is custom labels. See, actually from SAP we got these names. Okay, by SAP supplied is like SAP role is originator. Maybe your
Mhm.
customer wants to different label, they can make it this. Okay, they're like
Okay.
originator, they're
Mhm.
calling originator, and they're calling a hiring manager name delivered by SAP, but they are making as hiring manager only. Recruiter name they are make it as HRO. This client requirement is like that only. Okay, and
Okay.
coordinator team they are not used. Okay, source name is they are calling as M1, the second recruiter is M2, and VP staffing is HRM. So it's all depends on your client requirement. It doesn't mean that we have to follow whatever SAP supplied. We have custom labels also, we can rename that.
Okay. Okay.
So likewise we will first collect this data, but first we have to make them your under clients to understand these are the standard things delivered from SAP, whether you want to use the same names or is there any separate labels for your requirement. Okay, so for this recent client they are using like recruiter team means they call it as HRO. Okay, so maybe they are using human resource operator, like that. Okay, likewise different names we have. Okay, so I have collected this all the groups. Now I want to create a recruiting group. So how to create a recruiting group? So to create a recruiting group, there is an option called manage recruiting groups. So using this manage recruiting groups, we are going to create the groups like recruiter team and hiring manager team, coordinator teams, like that. So we usually have some standard groups already here, but think that in real time we will be having empty system. Okay, in the empty system. So in this empty system you are going to create a new one. Click on create. So enter the name of the team, recruiters team. I'm entering, and here we have to select user wise. Like here you have to select and who is the recruiter we are taking. Like we are using Tessa Walker is the first recruiter, and you can add another Amelia Roos.
This one I think you have already told us, right?
No,
Like
recruiting groups I have not said anything.
some group you have told us, yeah.
That is RBP groups are different and recruiting groups are totally different.
Okay, role-based permission.
Yeah,
For
role
that we
based.
have
Yes, yes,
created one group,
yes,
right? Right.
yes. That role based permissions are totally different, and these recruiting groups are different. So that role based permissions are applied for entire system, not only for one module, but these recruiting groups are only specified for recruiting department, like RCM module only.
Okay.
Yeah. So likewise, you add all these users, and you can select. So likewise you create all the groups and add all the users. Example, if I go some recruiters team, like when I go to like HR team, you can edit, so you can see how many people who is part of this recruiting team. Okay, and in job requisition also, when you keep some default recruiters, if you want to find in these drop downs, you will get only those two users only. you will not get any other users. Like suppose here we are getting, there are many users, but now your client asking me to, when I select recruiter, I want only recruiter group only. I don't want any other groups. So for that also you can make it default. So for hiring manager also here. So when I search here, so here we need only hiring manager list. So only who is listed in that list. I don't want to see all the employees in the system. Likewise. But mainly first initially we will create a groups and we will add all the users who is part of that each group, recruiter, hiring managers. Okay. So most of the time we will create some 6 to 7 groups only. Okay. But first we have to collect this information from your client and then we have to create. Okay. So any doubt, any confusion in this all these steps? Like you know how to create recruiting translations and how to activate the recruiting languages. Okay. And how to create, like what type of settings you have to make it in recruiting settings, and manage recruiting teams you are using to default the hiring manager and recruiters. Okay, in each and every job requisition, and recruiting groups you're using to group the people based on the organization, like recruiters team, hiring managers team, HR managers team. Okay. So these are the basic stuff of your RCM other settings. Okay. Any doubt, any confusion, guys, in these 4 options?
No, as of now, no. So while practice, maybe we'll get some doubts. So that
Yeah.
time we'll ask.
Okay. Fine. So next, Outlook integration with Interview Central. Outlook integration with interview schedule. So right, where we use this Outlook. Yesterday we have scheduled the interview. Before scheduling interview, to track the availability of the panel, like to access panel Outlook, we are using that Outlook information. So to effectively work that, first we have to integrate Outlook with your interview schedule. So how to integrate Outlook with your interview schedule? So there is an option called Outlook integration here. Setup interview scheduling Outlook integration. So using the setup interview schedule with the Outlook integration, you are going to schedule the integration between Outlook and your SuccessFactors application. To set up these, there are 2 ways. One is Exchange Web Server and Exchange Online. Okay. So in Exchange Web Server, we are going to update one, like first we have to collect this Outlook access details from your SAP side. Okay. So they're going to provide these Outlook credentials. So that URL and username, password, and also email ID also. Email ID is nothing but maybe your admin email ID. Okay. So you collect this information, update this information, and finally you click on verify. Okay. So once everything goes in green color, means it's correct only. Means your credentials is correct and your Outlook integrated successfully. So this is for first server, Exchange Web Server. And the second one, recently we got some different credentials using this application ID, client secret. Like client secret is nothing but your OTP kind of code, and directory tenant ID, email ID, these things. And this information also will provided by SAP itself. So you maintain this data and you click on verify. If everything is showing in green color, means it's successfully integrated. Okay. So as of now, we are using this process actually using URL, username, password, and email. So in interview, if they ask what type of credentials we need to integrate Outlook, so there are 2 ways. In first way, we are going to use it URL and username and password and email. So this is the first process. In second process, we have a Exchange Online. So this is a recent update where we can update, where we can integrate using an application ID. Okay. So these credentials also we are going to collect from the SAP. And there is one more option also here. We have some interview rooms. Yesterday while creating interview, there are 3 types of interviews: phone and virtual, and one is face to face. Right? Remember, Yesterday we have scheduled one interview. Let me go to today and I'll show you once again how that interview scheduling is work and how to check that rooms also. So here if you schedule any interview, so first select this candidate to whomever you want to schedule interview and start scheduling. So here we have a types of interview. If it is phone interview, you don't need to select any rooms. Even if you have a virtual means, you have to select how you are going to schedule the interview, like Skype, WebEx, or Zoom. Suppose if you select face-to-face means, here we have to select the country, example country, and select the state, whatever the state you are located, and select the rooms. So here we have some rooms information. Now I don't want to use this rooms information. Now my client provide the room names and room numbers. Okay. Not one. Room name is Arrow, they're calling. 102 is some yellow room numbers. 103. Okay. Green, etc. So likewise they have provided some room numbers. Okay. 101 they're calling as Arrow. 102 is yellow and 103 is green, like the room numbers. Now I want to upload these room names. I want to replace these room names with my client room names. Okay. To do that, just same way you just go to this Outlook integration. Here we have an option to upload the rooms. Upload your company room information. So whatever the room information they provided for interview schedules or any meetings, we are going to upload that. So how you are going to upload? So you take one empty Excel sheet. In this Excel sheet, here we have options. First one is email. Paste it in first line. Second one is room name. Options we have. And third one is location, which is the location. And the fourth one is phone. And the capacity. Last one is status. What is the status? ARI is active or inactive. Okay. Likewise, we have to collect this information. So first we have to update the mail ID and room name. So room name we already collected from the client. So first room we are calling as 101 Arrow. This is a room name. 101 underscore Arrow. Okay. And the location I'm making as Bangalore. And phone number, something you can update based on that phone number. And the capacity, like how many people can occupy in that room, like 4 or 5 or 6, like that. So here I am giving capacity is 4 numbers. And the status is ARI. A means active, I means inactive. So capital A or capital I. So same way in second room also. So second room you select it and you update it. So I'm going to select the second room, and first I'm going to update the test to email, like that. So here also I'm using same Bangalore with a different number, and here the capacity is 6 people and active. So likewise you can collect all the room information and you update it accordingly. So here I'm entering some, it's think that it's a big room, and I maintain capacity is like up to 8 people can occupy in that meeting room. Save as. Okay. And now go back here and choose that file and upload it. Upload. Okay. Something I missed in the document. Okay, here we have some content types missing. Let me give only arrow or distance only, because it's not taking that underscore. Yellow, green. I'll try to upload it again. It's loading. Okay, let me refresh and re-upload it again. Choose the rooms. Okay. Okay. So this is due to this format. I just copied this data, right? So that header formats are wrong. That is the reason. This error is showing. See, our headers are invalid. If still error comes, I have some standard templates for that. I use that. Copy paste. It's coming. Okay. Let me take one previous one. I have one saved rooms file. Yeah, I updated correctly only. Save me. So
That
last
file,
sorry, only.
the file is CSV template. Now it is showing that file is XLSS template.
No, that is not XML actually. This is not Excel. CSV file only.
Oh. No, this file is it is not a CSV file.
Okay. I'll update active full name only. So you're saying that it's not a CSV file, it's XML like that. Okay. Okay, fine. I'll select CSV only, comma delimited. And I'll upload it now. Let me. Or else I have some old copy also. Like last time I have used this template and it was successfully worked. So we will update the same data in that and we'll upload that also. So first I'll try this. This ABC CSV and open. Yeah, rooms imported successfully and save. And now you go back and check whether the new rooms are imported successfully or not. Just go and check. See yellow arrow, green, likewise. Now if you want to select yellow room for your interview, click on update. So you have selected interview room is yellow, and now you go down and you schedule an interview. So before that you have to find your manager is available or not. So for this we already done interview like Outlook integration also. Okay, if the Outlook integration is proper, when I click on find availability, we will not get any error. It means the system is going to fetch the data from your manager Outlook calendar. Okay, so this is the main importance of Outlook integration. So in Outlook integration, we are going to do two things. Okay, one is updating credentials like Outlook credentials, and also importing rooms data. Okay, so this is the main importance of Outlook integration. Okay, how many ways we have in Outlook to integrate? There are two ways: using URL and username and password and email, and the second one is using ID. Okay, so there are two ways. So where we will get these credentials from SAP. Get the credentials from SAP, whether URL or any ID, you can integrate it accordingly. And also, before importing any rooms, first you collect the data from your client. Once you collected this data, open any empty XML. Likewise, so there are there are 6 things we have to update in your header: email ID, room name, location, phone, capacity, and status. Okay, so update this information and go back to that Outlook integration and import it. So this is the way to update the rooms information. Okay, so this is all about you guys. So if you have any doubt, confusion, just let me know. Okay, so here today I'll give you some tasks. So task in the sense, let's take some edit applicant status. So in this applicant status, take any language like UK, and I want UK language translations. Okay. So you copy some USA translations are already available in that applicant status. Now I want you guys to check that edit applicant status, and not only that, go to job profile builder, and also you go to some other different pages also, and try to check whether the translation button is available or not. So I already show you how the translation button is looks like. Okay, so open the translation button and try to update your translations. So that is the first task. And the second one is recruiting settings. So open this recruiting setting, try to see where we can update your company address, and where we can update your other do not reply email address. So in recruiting team, try to take your own users. So here I have updated basic Amelia and J Baker, and standard T Baker and G Hill. So now you try to change standard, you make it J Baker as a defaulter, and for basic you update G Hill as a default hiring manager. So you try that, and also if you have time, you just check these groups also. Okay, and one person can go and check with these rooms also. Try to upload some new rooms also. And one more thing, whenever you upload, make sure you taking care of this, try to upload within the same page. Suppose if you upload new template, then the old values will get deleted automatically. Okay, suppose if you want to update any new room under the same page, make sure you are adding under this only. Don't take again empty sheet. If you take empty sheet, then these old values will get deleted automatically. Okay, so every time whenever you are adding or whenever you are removing any room, first suppose I want to remove this green room, means you just remove this room and again import it the same file. So make sure the same template old value is also available. Okay,
So only we have to change or edit like yellow to some different thing, or next line we have to put.
next line you have to put, suppose if you want to make this green as some other name, you can edit also, or else you can better you remove this entire line and try to create a new value instead of making changes.
Okay.
Yeah. So example, if I try to upload any, example, let me upload another room within the same page. Okay. Some two. Same way, you copy this page and again you go to Outlook. better refresh the page and upload it every time. Otherwise, it will take a lot of time to validate. Okay, rooms imported, and finally, don't forget to save. So there is a small option here, save option. You have to save it every time. And now you go back and check the rooms information. See, the new room is updated. So every time you have to update. Suppose if I update only red or not with any other value. Now I want to remove this green. Okay, if you want to remove this green, delete that entire line, save, and again same way. You go back to this page, refresh once, and import it. Upload and save. And go back to this and refresh once. Okay, so now yellow arrow, red. There is no green. So likewise. Okay, every time you have to use the same template. So try to practice and come up with your doubts. Okay, thank you guys. So going forward, it's all like this only. So there is no complicated things in RCM. So most of the complicated things we already done with the templates. So remaining things are like simple only, like how we have today, like settings, these things. So everything is simple things only. Okay.
Okay. So how many classes remaining like to complete this module?
It will take some, I think around not more than 10, no, not more than 1 week also. Because let me open this template. Here we'll see. We have some career site, candidate status is done, employer referral is there, an agency, and we have some reports, and we have tokens. Tokens are pending, question libraries, and pick list also. So header and footer we saw in template. Okay. So if you want, again I'll repeat this header and footer. Okay. So it will take some not more than 1 week of time to complete this RCM.
Then we'll do some project or what's
Yeah,
the plan?
it's like once
Okay.
you complete, I will give you some sample data. Okay, some
Okay.
work related data. I'll give you some four templates data. So you have to configure that. You have to
Okay.
configure in our system like brand new. You think that you don't have anything, I will give you groups and roles and everything. You have to create it. And also I'll give you some templates, Outlook integrations, this data. So you have to configure it accordingly from
In
starting to end.
instance.
Yes, instance.
Okay.
So within the same instance, what I'll give you know, I'll give
Mm-hmm.
you some job requisitions. One job requisition is nothing but Google job requisition. So in that job requisition, I'm not going to give any data. I'm not going to give any XML. I'm going to give the requirement. Think that I'm your client, like I'm your customer. I'll tell you what is my requirement. So based on that, you have to design. Okay. So
Okay.
I'll provide all the data in one Excel sheet. So I'll take one empty workbook like this. I'll take one empty workbook. So in this empty workbook, so I'll give all the data. So based on that my data, you guys has to configure it. Okay. And you guys has to explain what is that, what is the purpose of it, how you are going to satisfy my requirement. So I'll also give some tasks like whether it's possible, this is possible or not. So based on that, you're going to explain me back like no, yes, this is possible and this is possible, and what type of errors we will face. So since you see everything right, so you can go like example, I want one custom string field in job requisition, whether it's possible or not. Likewise, this type of questions only. Even clients also ask the same type of questions. So likewise, I'll give you one empty Excel sheet. So based on that empty Excel sheet, you're going to collect the data from my end and you have to configure it same in the system. Okay,
Okay.
cool. So that's for today, guys. If you have any doubt, confusion, please let me know. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Raj. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, Raj.